Yeah.
Let's hope so. Speaking of reality being injected into things, let's get into the box office report.
Yes.
So I accidentally pulled up one of our movies. So big new release for the weekend was Gran Turismo,
Mm.
based on a true story.
Yeah, apparently the guy in the movie he actually learned how to drive race cars from playing Gran Turismo.
Yeah, and I have not heard a single bad thing said about this movie.
I haven't either. I've actually heard it's a really good movie. Poorly marketed from what I've heard too.
Yeah, they had like an extended trailer for this one ahead of the Barbie movie, and
Mhm.
that was the first time I was actually interested in it
Yeah.
because it's not really a video game movie.
No, it's a sports movie. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what it actually kind of makes me think of? What if the King of Kong was less documentary and more less if it was
Mhm.
less documentary and more like fictionalized?
Yeah. Mm.
Oh, fun fact! I actually met the guy that that movie was about. He was it back in a past life when I was a substitute teacher. I taught his class
Oh,
a couple of times. Nice guy,
cool. Yeah. Huh.
as opposed to the guy who cheated to try to get his title back.
Oh yeah, that guy. Ugh. What was his name?
I don't recall, but
I can see his face, but I can't think of his name.
yeah, like beard and yeah.
Long hair. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so we don't have a budget for Gran Turismo, um, but it's doing really well internationally, which it
Mm.
seems like car movies almost do better internationally than in America.
Yeah. Yeah. They seem to. Yeah, they seem to appreciate the sport more, I guess, or especially especially Formula One.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably a big chunk of it.
Yeah.
Turn left, a true story.
Turn left, I think.
That'd be the American equivalent.
Yeah. Well, they already did one of those. It was called Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise.
See, I thought you were going to say it was called Talladega Nights, the
Oh yeah,
Ballad
well
of Ricky
that
Bobby.
that one too.
Um, so as far as the ones that we've been tracking, Barbie still hanging in there. I helped, or my family helped with that drop not dropping as much as it could drop.
Yeah.
Like that, 28% drop on week 6 is nuts.
Yeah.
Um, Blue Beetle was firmly booted out of first place.
Mm,
51% drop doesn't sound too bad until you realize it was starting from a very small opening weekend
yeah.
where it barely fought off Barbie. It barely beached off Barbie.
Oh man.
If you didn't get that, then you didn't watch the Barbie review we just did.
Yes.
Um, Oppenheimer also hanging in there strong.
Mhm.
It's following the oddly, like almost perfectly half of what Barbie's doing any given weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it is rated R and it is over
Yep.
3 hours long. So
And it's a documentary and a
yeah.
depressing one.
Yeah. Yeah.
The true genius of the Barbenheimer meme, when you get down to it, is that they're movies for very different audiences, but they're also movies that that audience is going to get excited about.
Yes. Exactly.
And they aren't stupid superhero movies
Right.
or existing movie franchises. It's just like that breath of fresh air right as everything else was falling apart.
Right. Yeah. Unlike number 5 with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, though that's 15% whole weekend over weekend. That is a tiny drop. So that's,
Yeah.
of course, it's taken a month to make 1 million
Yeah.
domestically for the frickin' Ninja Turtles. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
think,
I think a lot of that is, because it's just I think the animation style might have thrown some people off,
yeah,
particularly if they didn't see Spider-Verse.
right. We're kind of biased against that style to start with,
Yeah.
though. It's got legs. If we look at
Yeah.
the chart here, of course, that's right. Never mind. The chart is thrown off because they released this thing on like a Wednesday or
Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah.
So ignore the chart.
Yes. It's $70 million budget. I mean, they didn't spend a lot on it, so
No. So they'll and yeah, they're bound to. I mean, I'm sure it'll work out for them in the end,
yeah.
especially with the toys to do it.
Mm-hmm.
What won't work out in the end is Strays.
Oof.
You're more of a religious film threat viewer than I am.
Hmm.
Have they even mentioned this movie?
They have. They hated it.
Okay.
Well, it actually led to with Chris Gore, found out he's not really a dog person. So, yeah.
It's kind of a shame because the base concept of Will Ferrell doing his overly happy persona as a dog who's abused and doesn't notice he's being abused, like that seems funny. But
Yeah.
what I noticed when I saw the trailer for this ahead of Joyride was that they kept going back to easy drug jokes. Like there were multiple times when the dogs got drunk or ate mushrooms in the woods or something.
Uh,
And the best it was probably the trailer they show you the best gags in the movie. The,
mhm.
the best one was like they had the dogs eating these mushrooms and they were all in different animation styles. Like one was like a Disney princess animation style or traditional 2D. One was a sock puppet, and
Oh, gee.
so like that's your best joke. That's like a neat visual gag, but
Yeah.
yeah, bombing hard. Actually, I
Yeah.
pulled this up so I could see what the budget was. 46 million. That's if you're gonna lose money, at least might as well lose a little bit of money.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a heap ton of money like some
And
of
th-
these other movies.
and that is one where you know showing it on Comedy Central or streaming could eventually make it break even for them. So
Yeah.
it's also kind of impressive anymore that you can make a CGI heavy movie like this, where it's like you're having to animate the dog's lips moving the whole time
Right.
for that
Yeah.
little.
Yeah.
We're a long ways from the day of Milo and Otis, where everything was like telepathy.
Yeah. Yeah. Homeward Bound. Yeah.
Yep. We got Meg 2 The Trench, which is
Good.
still doing nothing nationally,
Nothing.
but a lot internationally.
Like, yeah, man. Of course, as we pointed out before,
China.
most of it's China.
Yep, which means they're getting very little of that back.
Yeah.
Um, got a couple of new releases that I don't know
Yeah.
anything about.
I don't know. Yeah, Retribution.
Let's see here.
Oh, Liam Neeson action movie. Okay.
Okay, so does he look oddly CGI'd in that picture?
Yeah, he looks really a lot of filters and a lot of yeah.
That almost looks like someone built a Liam Neeson in Unreal Engine 4, and he couldn't be arsed to show up for the photo for the cover.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Well, yeah, another old timer still doing action movies.
From what I've understood, the reason he's in so many freaking movies is because it's how he chooses to not deal with the death of his wife by staying busy,
Oh,
which
yeah,
is sad, but he's been doing
yeah,
it for a long time, so it's
yeah. I can understand that.
so they don't have to be good movies; they just have to pay the bills and keep him occupied.
Right.
If what I heard is true.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, what's The Hill?
Oh, this is it's a baseball movie, or is it baseball? It with yeah, baseball movie with Dennis Quaid.
Okay. Growing up in impoverished and small town Texas, young Ricky Hill shows an extraordinary ability for hitting a baseball despite being burdened by leg braces from a degenerative spinal disease.
Mm.
His stern pastor father discouraged Ricky from playing baseball to protect him from injury and to have him follow in his footsteps and become a preacher. As a young man, Ricky becomes a baseball phenomenon. His desire to participate in a tryout for Major League Scout divides the family and threatens Ricky's dream of playing professional baseball.
Mm. Okay. So it's a very sports drama movie.
From the writer of Rudy
Okay.
and Hoosiers. Okay, so
Okay.
that does feel like a very classic sports movie premise.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that sounds interesting enough. Not sure I'd want to take the time out to watch it personally, but
Yeah.
it sounds like a worthy attempt.
Yeah.
Um, Talk to me, horror movie, no opinion.
Yeah.
Um, and
Mission
Indiana Jones has
Impossible.
hit digital, so yeah, 230,000.
Yeah.
Man, when I was thinking about this movie, everyone would talk about, oh, this one could hit a billion, including people like your boy Zach. Uh, like the thing, I like your boy Zach a lot.
Hmm.
Um, I respect his opinions on comics and even movies, even though it's often wildly divergent from my own.
Yeah.
But he does not know box office trends.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think this movie was going to hit a billion, although I thought it would do better than what it did. I mean,
Yeah,
I thought maybe 500.
yeah. This is like worst case scenario over here.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I keep hearing everybody say, "Oh, like there are some people in the media are like, oh, it only lost like $100 million." No, it lost
Yeah,
like what 300 or 400 million.
yeah. I assuming that like even if we were very generous to them and they pulled back on the marketing because they knew they had a stinker and only spent like 100 million on this, that's still 400 million, which means they need to make roughly 800 million to earn that back.
Yeah, and yeah, they didn't get anywhere close to that.
No, they are basically halfway to profitability. No, not even necessarily halfway to profitability.
Yeah, yeah, man.
You know, at this point, Bob Iger's got to be going, why did we buy Lucasfilm again?
Well, it was his idea.
Yep. And who is the idiot? Who's the idiot former CEO who approved this deal?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, oops.
Oops. I always get me and the other Bob mixed up.
Yeah.
Um, Meanwhile, okay, that's weird. Mission Impossible actually added some theaters,
Hmm.
even as it's okay. Yeah, it cleared 500 million. So it's like they
Hmm.
did similarly in the States, but internationally it really smoked Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But they also spent too much money on this darn thing. So
Oh yeah.
it's in a similar state as Indiana Jones as far as
Mhm.
profitability goes.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is Tom Cruise's ego got the better of him.
Yep, they kept saying yes.
Yeah, yeah,
And also, to be fair, COVID era things. It's
yeah, that's true.
made a lot of these movies. As much as it's fun to dunk on them for everything being 200 million, it's like okay, there were some real expenses that were added on back then.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, especially this movie in particular. If you anybody remember out there Tom Cruise going on going on that rant at people about not wearing
Yep.
masks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell?
What?
Little Mermaid and Super Mario Brothers were put back into theaters for like they each added like 1,000 plus theaters last weekend.
Wow. Hmm.
Mind you, they each made like 600,000 or 400,000 respectively, but that's interesting. That makes me wonder if they were trying to like get like getting a last squeeze.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, that is strange. And of course,
Uh,
Jurassic Park got re-released in theaters
yeah,
for 30th anniversary.
they also had a 1 day showing of American Graffiti last or on Wednesday apparently,
Hmm.
which I was kind of bummed was only a 1 day thing because I haven't seen that movie since high school.
Yeah, I watched that movie pretty recently. It holds up really well. Yeah.
The movie that convinced Fox to give this George Lucas kid some money to make his Star War whatever.
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah. Make it a little sci-fi movie.
Meanwhile, Elemental's in like 235 theaters. You know what? When this thing came out, I was not expecting it to outperform Indiana Jones
No, I wasn't either.
because it had an awful opening weekend. Um, and it's kind of that power that Barbenheimer showed us. If you're just something kind of new and at least slightly fresh and inoffensive in its own way.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, hey, Chingus is here. Good to see you,
Hey,
man.
Changus.
Meg 2 is still in top 10. That's hilarious. Yeah.
Well, August is a slow month where movies are sent out to die. We'll
Yes.
see. We'll see how. And Labor Day weekend is where movies are sent out to die.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi, like it did as well as it did because it was a freaking Marvel movie, and Marvel movies still meant something.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, and it was kind of at the beginning of Marvel's downward slide.
Right. I mean, you'd had Black Widow, but like, okay, that was a one-off, right? Right.
Right? Yeah, yeah,
New character.
yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, I think Elemental is going to teach them the wrong lesson. Is that new things are scary? Toy Story 6, please.
Yeah. Uh,
But yeah, it's a slow time of year, but there's some neat stuff out there to watch.
yeah.
And gosh, you know what this is, Daniel?
What
This
is
is
it?
like diversity of options because
Uh-huh.
there's a lot of properties here, but
Yeah.
there's like a lot of even things that are adaptations and properties. Gran Turismo is a unique movie. It's not like they tried
Mhm.
to impose a story on the game.
Right. Yeah.
Barbie is unique, even if it wasn't quite my cup of tea.
Yeah. Yeah. Blue Beetles, of course, superhero movie, but yeah.
Yeah, it's at least has some unique aspects though.
Yeah.
That yeah. Last week I was more upset than I am this week that it's not doing well.
Mm.
It's like, it really didn't do anything too unique.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what happens when you make people sick of something. It's not like Western. It'll be interesting to look up to see what the most successful Western of the last 10 years was. I wonder if it was
Yeah.
that Magnificent.
The Magnificent Seven remake.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Let's see. 2015.
20, yeah.
162 million.
Wow, that was a pretty yeah, that was not optimal. Though you see
Yeah.
that difference of 2016, they made 40 million on DVD and Blu-ray. So
Yeah. Yeah.
the fools,
Yeah.
you, you went chasing streaming, and you just had to destroy the disc market.
Yeah, and you lost that whole revenue stream.
Yeah. Though interestingly, it seems like Blu-ray has finally hit the point where it's consistently outselling DVD.
Mm.
And it does seem like there's been some new life in that market, which that's actually kind of encouraging for archival and other purposes.
Oh yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Although we watched our thing on streamers, and we watched our uh, classic movie of the week on streaming, like Dirty Dirty Streamers. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I think that, yeah, it's just been. See, this is much more fun to talk about than being outraged that they've ruined
Yeah.
a beloved property. It's just like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, Now, speaking of things that absolutely do not and should not get a remake,
Yes.